Hello everyone, I am Mohammed. Welcome to my brand new channel called My Coding Days, dedicated to teaching you the exciting world of computer science. I'm thrilled to have you here for the start of our first series, a comprehensive C++ course. Today, we'll kick things off with an introduction to C++, understanding how compilers work, exploring different compilers and IDEs, and of course, writing our very first program, the classic Hello World. Let's start with the basics. What is C++? C++ is a programming language that is based on the C programming language. It was developed as an extension of C with additional features and capabilities. C++ is a compiled language, which means to get a program to run, you must first translate it from a human-readable form to something a machine can understand. This compilation process allows for better performance and efficient execution of the program. C++ is a statically typed language, which means that variables and expressions must have their types declared at compile time. Don't worry if you don't know anything about variables, expressions, types. We will come back to these topics later. In C++, the language is case sensitive, which means that the uppercase and lowercase letters are treated as distinct characters. What is C++ used for? C++ is a versatile language that finds application in various domains. Its unique blend of low-level control and high-level abstractions makes it a popular choice for developers. So, what can you do with C++? Let's explore some of its key uses. First and foremost, C++ is often employed in system software development. Operating systems like Windows, macOS, and Linux rely heavily on C++ to interact with hardware, manage resources, and provide a solid foundation for running other software. C++ is also widely utilized in game development. Many of your favorite games are built using C++. Its performance and ability to access low-level hardware resources make it ideal for creating highly optimized and immersive gaming experience. Additionally, C++ is commonly found in embedded systems. These are specialized computer systems that perform dedicated functions within larger devices or machinery. Think of automotive systems, aerospace technology, medical devices, and even IoT devices. C++ enables developers to write efficient and reliable software for these embedded systems. Financial institutions heavily rely on C++ for high-frequency trading, algorithmic trading, and building financial software. C++ ability to execute code quickly and manage large volumes of data makes it an excellent choice for demanding financial applications. Another area where C++ shines is in performance-critical applications. Scientific simulations, image and signal processing, and real-time applications like audio and video encoding require fast and efficient code execution. C++ provides the necessary tools and optimizations to handle these demanding tasks. With this information in mind, let's learn C++. As I mentioned, C++ is a compiled language. What does that mean? When you write code in C++, it is initially in human-readable form, known as the source code. To make it executable, the source code needs to be translated into machine-readable instructions. This is where the compiler comes in. The text that we write and read is referred as source code or program text, while the code that computer executes is known as executable, object code, or machine code. In C++, it is common to use the file extension .cpp or .h for source code files. Object code files, on the other hand, often have the suffix .obj on Windows or .o on Unix. When the compiler reads your source code, it tries to understand what you wrote. It checks if your program follows the rules of grammar, if all the words have clear meanings, and if there are any obvious mistakes that can be caught without actually running the program. Compilers can be quite picky about the way your code is written and structured, so it's important to pay attention to the syntax and make sure everything is in the right place. Think of the compiler as a strict grammar teacher for your code. Let's have a quick tour and meet some famous C++ compilers that make our life easier and our code even more awesome. First up, we have GCC, the rockstar of C++ compilers. GCC is open source and super reliable. It's like the Swiss Army knife of compilers supporting multiple programming languages. Developers love GCC for its optimization powers and portability. It's like the friend you can count on, available on Linux, macOS, and even Windows. Plus, its massive community has got your back. So in this course, I'm going to use GCC. The next on the list is CLang, the cool kid in the compiler block. CLang is part of the LLVM project, known for its modern and speedy approach. It's all about giving you clear and helpful error messages, no more head-scratching moments. CLang gets along great with your IDEs, making coding a breeze. Its static analysis skills will help you catch those sneaky bugs before they cause troubles. Say hello to MSVC, the Windows Warrior. MSVC is the C++ compiler that comes bundled with Microsoft Visual Studio. It's got all the fancy tools you need, from a powerful debugger to a super sleek development environment. If you're rocking Windows, MSVC is your go-to buddy for app development and game-making fun. With seamless integration into the Microsoft ecosystem, you'll feel right at home. Get ready to unleash your creativity with MSVC. But wait, there is more. Check out these awesome C++ compilers too. Intel C++ compiler, the speed demon known for its optimization magic on Intel architectures. MinGW, bringing the power of GCC to Windows, making cross-platform development a breeze. TDM GCC, a Windows-focused distribution of GCC, perfect for your coding adventures. Digital Mars C++ compiler, lightweight and fast, giving you a turbo boost for Windows development. So many choices, so much excitement. Now that we have covered the importance of compilers in C++ programming, let's turn our attention to another essential tool in our coding arsenal, IDEs and text editors. These tools provide us with a comfortable and efficient environment to write and manage our C++ code. One of the most popular choices among developers, including myself, is Visual Studio Code, or simply VSCode. It's powerful and highly customizable source code editor developed by Microsoft. The best part, it's free and available on multiple platforms. With VS Code, you can easily configure build tasks, debug your C++ code, and seamlessly integrate with version control systems like Git. It provides a user-friendly interface and intuitive keyboard shortcuts that help boost your productivity. Of course, there are fantastic other IDEs and text editors available for C++ programming. Some popular choices include Microsoft Visual Studio, C Lion, CodeBlocks, and Eclipse. Each has its own set of features and benefits, so feel free to explore and find the one that suits your preferences. Okay, now I'm going to download my compiler. To do that, I will search for WinLibs and I will go into this website. Here, if you go to download section, I will download the latest version of GCC. Since I'm on a Windows 64-bit, I will download the 64-bit of this compiler. After you downloaded it, extract it and then open the folder. I'm going to copy this into my C drive, and then I need to add the mingw directory to my environment variable path. So I'm going to copy, actually I need the bin folder of the mingw into my environment variable. So I copy this directory and here I click on start and search for env, edit the environment variables and click on that, and in this window I will click on the environment variables and here I need to find path, click on edit and new, and I will paste the directory and OK. To make sure that you have set this environmental variable correctly, open in the start menu, search for cmd or command prompt, and in the command prompt type d++ dash dash version. You can see that we have the GCC 13.1 version, so it is correctly in the path. The other tool that we need, as we discussed, is an IDE or a text editor. To download VSCode, just search for VSCode and go to their website and download and install it. I have done it before, and then you can open the VSCode. After opening the VSCode, you should see an icon like this here for extensions. Click on the extensions and search for C++ and install this extension C/C++, and then click on the file, open folder, and open a folder that you want to save your code in. I will create a folder in my C drive, cpp. I will give it a name, cpp underscore hello underscore world. But you can give it any name that you want. And then select folder. And here, click on the new file, give it a name. As we discussed, the extension of C++ source code is CPP. We usually use CPP. Initially, I will include the IOStream library. To do that, I put a hash include and angle bracket IO stream. IO stream stands for input and output stream, and we use the functionality of this library to print out or get input from the user. Then every C++ executable start executing from the main function. To define the main function, I'm going to write int main and curly bracket. The first part, int, indicates that this function, which its name is main, is going to return an integer. But don't worry, we will discuss this later. We will talk more about variables and variable types. So this function will return 0 when it is executed successfully. Then I'm going to print the hello world to the console. To do that, I will write std. Std is the namespace of the standard library, and everything inside these libraries that we include are defined inside this namespace. Don't worry about the namespace. We will come back to these topics later. And then cout. Then I'm going to use the less than operator. This operator allows us to chain some output to the stream. So here I'm going to write this string inside the double quotation, hello world, and then again, as I said, we can chain some strings to this stream. I will use the endl to end that line. Then, in order to compile these source code into an object code, I will click on the terminal, new terminal. Since GCC is a command line function, we can check by g++ --help, we can check its how we can use it. So feel free to read all these documentation here, but the usage is g++ and then options if you want any, and then give the file. For the options, all of the options are listed here. So here, I'm not going to use any option. I just compile the file g++ hello world.cpp. This is the name of the file that I have created, and then I hit on the enter, and then as you can see, it has created this a.exe, which is my executable. To run that, I can run like this, and you can see that it has printed the hello world. But in order to make this process a bit easier, we can create a build task. To do that, come here into the terminal and configure default build task, and here search for G++ or any other compiler that you have, and then I can delete this. This task is being created inside this VSCode folder here, and then in order to build this file, you need to make sure that you have selected this and go to the terminal and run build task, and you can see that it's starting building and it builds, and then we have this hello world.exe, and we can run it like this, and you can see that it is printing hello world. Thank you very much for joining this session. If you think that this video was helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and stay curious, stay passionate, and have a wonderful day.